Hey, thank you for watching here on YouTube Live at Blooming Light at Blooming Strive. If you're logging in live, you are logging in on Thursday, August the 14th, 2025, and it is approximately 5:34 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you're logging in at a later time and a later date, then thank you for watching. If you are a benevolent being, if you're new to the channel, I invite you to look at the description box, the links that I have on the homepage, that you can visit the other platforms I have. If you're interested in donating to GoFundMe or the PayPal to support this channel and what I do, but as well as to support the project, my son and me, our goal of relocating from the state of Texas. We are targeted individuals, and we have discovered that whatever corruption is in this state, whatever secret groups, whatever you want to call it here, the corruption in this state has been a part of this trafficking of me and my son, and have been a part of why our time in Texas has been what it's been. And we have gone through unmentionable, almost unbelievable stuff. And it's all becoming clear what this has all been. And so we are really doing the best that we can. We are planning to get out of Texas, getting back to the West Coast. That's the plan. And his lease is up, I want to say 6 months, maybe a little less. I think 6 months. And so we want to go before that, but at best, we then want to have him out of here and out of the state when his lease is up coming in February. So if you're interested, please, okay, do what you can do. Anything counts. You know, we're in the process of filing the RICO complaint, but that's very involved. It's not as clean cut and simple as you might think that is. And so upon filing, you still have to get the defendants served, and then there's the wait between their response, and it just all depends. So either way, we're still trying to work on getting out of here, because now we know what we know. And yeah, okay. So that's all the intros on that. But the title of this particular live says, they put spells on phrases to cast over you without you knowing. I believe the thumbnail, it said coworker, but this is everything. Bosses, managers, anybody, okay, that is aware of that kind of stuff, and or are in cahoots with those who do. As a result, that person or those folks groom them on what to do. Okay? I'm gonna give you an example. And don't worry. Once you get to a certain phase, there's nothing for you to fear. It's all about trickery with these types of people. The illusion. Okay? That's where the gist of the power is. The trickery, the illusion. Okay, because you're unsuspecting. See it? So let's use work for an example. Let's just make it a simple thing. Let's use work. And so let's say you're the employee, and then let's say your boss, your manager, your team leader, your supervisor. Okay. And let's say they're connected, you know, let's say either they're a dark witch or warlock themselves, okay? And or they're connected to some of those people who really have it in for you, or who is really targeting you, okay? And they just, you know, the luck of the draw that they get to be your supervisor, okay? Now, Of course, you got to meet with your boss. You got to meet with your supervisor, don't you? You got to meet with your manager, do you not? And you all will be discussing various things, from things pertaining to work itself to, you know, if there's any issues and concerns and problems that you're having. They often will share their story with the hopes of getting you to open up to them. There's the energetic exchange, there's the cord. The work environment already provided, okay? But once there's any type of maybe personal level information, that even amplifies it and solidifies it, okay? And it will be a conversation that seems to be about concern and kindness and, you know, relatability in terms of, you know, what they've experienced. So here's the example. Your supervisor and boss says that they dated somebody that was autistic or had Asperger's. And they talk about how they broke up, you know, and then they'll say something like, well, yeah, as you're exchanging and trying to explain, like, you could be a parent of a disabled person and you could be a single parent and trying to basically manage all those things and yada, yada, yada. And so, and trying to manage your work schedule and all the changes and then whatever weirdness that you feel like you're having going on in the workplace. And then as you share with these people, I am being stalked. I done told you, motherfuckers. I done said it 500 times. It ain't it. Anyway. And you share that. And then they'll make, here's the phrase. I'm going to give you a statement. It's just a phrase. But you can put a spell on the phrase with the intention of, once it is spoken over the individual, that it actually creates whatever the phrase is. So let's say they say something like this in this scenario. Okay, and I'm not using it in a spell. I don't have a spell on the phrase. Okay, by the way, you have power over it. There's things you can do, but we'll talk about that later. As they're talking to you with all sincerity in their voice that they manufactured and copied from you, and they say something like, yeah, you know, he ended up going through autism burnout, something like that. That don't sound like nothing, right? Ain't nobody gonna be alarmed by that, because it's a conversation. She's simply saying what could have possibly happened to the ex-boyfriend. So there's nothing weird to look at in terms of her saying that. Only people who know about what I'm talking about will know why. And that spell, when they said that, if they are trying to destiny swap with you, if they are trying to burn you out because they're threatened by you, if they're trying to get you to take on all of their gunk and energy and the role of what they want you to be so that you can go away, they can infuse in that phrase that to manifest. That's the spell over you, that put the energy onto you. And if you're already susceptible due to the circumstances and things that are created, on top of not even knowing that that's what they did, then you're going to start feeling some kind of way, and you're not going to think nothing of it. All of it is going to look and seem natural. Nothing suspecting about it whatsoever. And this is more common than we know. And since I've figured out that it's actually more common, there's a lot of things that I've started incorporating in my daily life because of this. that things that seem to be just standard, I don't trust to be that anymore. So when random people are crossing my path or getting in the sphere of my auric field and they're saying words, even if it's in other languages, because I don't trust that either, I'm calling all of it out. Okay, crossing my path and going, I'm just saying like, whatever. I'm like, I catch it just like that. I'm not playing. I'm burning up all this shit. Like, nah, okay. And it don't take a lot. It's not like I don't have to stop and get into this involved thing just as quickly as they cross me with the shaka, kapatu, kata. When they do that, just as quickly as my inside, because I can do it telepathically too. Just as quickly as I go, sometimes I'll get fun and interesting and go wrap it around them. I'll be like, yep, follow them. Because it's their energy, it's their investment. So, and then I'll smile and say they curse themselves. When they end up starting to feel like we did something sometimes. It's like, no, actually, no, I didn't. You did. You did, dear. You did it because you've invested in cursing me. So there you go. I don't know what people expect for folks to do. I think it's fascinating how a lot of people end up getting mad at these targeted populations. It's fascinating. Because what do they really expect you to do? People get mad. They came for you. Let's just get it all clear. They come for you. You did not instigate nor initiate. They come for you. And then they get mad when they hear you speak of the things that they're doing because they're secretly stalking you on social media. Then they get mad because they hear you calling out things there and speaking it there. And then they get mad at you when, odd and strange and unusual things start to happen to them. I don't understand how that makes any sense at all. I just don't. I don't. Because my logic won't let me. My logic won't let me understand it. My mathematical side of myself, that science, physics side to me is like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. If I invest, if I know that I instigated something with somebody, if I know that I've been coming for somebody with my own malicious reasons, the person didn't do anything to me, I just don't like them, or I just feel entitled, I want what they have, or I'm threatened by them, and I've been coming for them, I'm putting spells on them, I'm spreading lies and rumors, I'm trying to constantly set them up. If I know, to me, it makes common sense and logical sense if by chance weird things start to happen to me that are similar to what I spoke over somebody or what I sent to them. I may still be pissed because obviously there's toxicity there. I may still be upset, but it's like in logic, it's like, well, so I feel like I should be the exception. Is basically what I'm saying. If I have a problem, I can do it, but it shouldn't be done to me. I can do it, but it shouldn't be done to me. Which is mind-boggling. And this is why what you'll notice is you'll start to feel some kind of way when you deal with these types of people. It's subtle. You'll start to feel like right now there's some people, as I'm talking to you, they're playing in my energy. But this has only gotten this sharp because now I finally understood, I'm understanding myself now and my abilities. you'll start to notice with these certain people, it's a subtle energy. And when they say certain things or when you converse with them, you'll usually leave feeling off, unexplainably off. And that's because they either was word salading, they were doing word sorcery over you. Okay? And you can feel its frequency, you can feel it. And so there may be anxiety, because what did look at what kind of spell did they put on that phrase? That phrase was autism burnout or autistic burnout. And whatever they spelled in it, it's still the implication of that burnout. Burnout, like it's too much, like they get overwhelmed, they can't do anything, it's just too much. And that's what they want for you, so that they can take on your persona and feel superior to you and get you out the way. And then so they can simultaneously attempt to ruin whatever reputation you've built, because usually people get bothered in these arenas when you knocking shit out the park. And that's intimidating to managers and supervisors, especially the ones who only manage to come up off of kissing ass and favors and via their connections with other leaderships. So that's a problem for them kind. And you come in there blowing, shit, knocking shit out the park, nigga. And you happen to be, oh, that pissed these people off. Especially if you dated somebody they dated, shit like that. And people could have been running your name through the mud like you wasn't nobody, like you was dumb and you don't know how to do shit, and you know what I'm saying? And you say, really? Really? And you come in there, nigga, and they know that the higher ups are starting to look at you. Oh, we can't have that. No, we gotta hear up. Toxic motherfuckers unite. Team, we weird. We don't like it. And then they'll do it if that's not enough. See what will happen in these environments, depending on the type of environment. If it's a phone call center environment, they're going to exploit that in their favor. Because this is the only time. See, cowards have to get you in a vulnerable position, period. I learned this over the years. Cowards have to jump people. Cowards have to gang up on people. Cowards have to get you in a vulnerable position. Cowards have to sneak up behind corners and walls. Cowards have to use their niggas, their bitches, their mammy, their daddy, their cousin. Cowards have to hide. Cowards have to do things in a slithery way when you're vulnerable because they can't beat you no other way. And they know it. So they look to infiltrate environments where you're going to be least suspecting and where you're required to be operating in a certain manner so that you can't have defense against their bullshit. So they will infiltrate the workspace and infiltrate the phone system environment. And there are ways, many ways they do that. Assigning you phone calls, routing phone calls. There's many ways they do that. It can be done. They have your phone number and they can call at any time. directly or have someone else to. And so what they'll do with that is have people come in there and be obnoxious, okay? Then have people call and send certain phrases and spells there. Listen, when I was working at this one spot, I remember one of these applications that came through. I can't remember if it was an inbound or outbound call, okay? By the way, they kind of thought that if I got on the outbounds only, that I would fail, and then I'll prove them wrong with that as well. So this is kind of why they had to take it even further. It's like, she lazy. She ain't gonna really. Anyway. So it was this app. I had several applications that would make me laugh. Like, I would laugh because I wasn't suspecting. And I was like double taking. I was like, wait, because we have to read certain things off to the customer. And I also believe that that's another way that they're doing that, because you're gonna be saying certain words. And this one client or whoever it was, I remember this. And I stopped. I said, oh. It said, I think I laughed too, because it said, either it was the name of their business or the email, and it said something like, oh, I hope I can remember. It said, you ain't it, or it was something. And then because I kind of made the joke and turned it around, I said, oh, I'm not it. I said, I thought I was, or something. I like it started laughing. And you know what? And nobody's going to suspect anything, because people can have their businesses called whatever they want it to be called. And some people want to have a humorous business name. And so, I wasn't thinking anything of that. But see, they had to go all out all these ways with me because all of their shit wasn't working. So they had to go around the clock, in and out, up and down, any way to infiltrate my energy when I'm most vulnerable. Because nothing was working. And they will do that to targeted individuals when they're becoming powerful. So they'll say, okay, well, they're not going for the same usual. They're getting stronger. So we need to infiltrate a little bit deeper when they're more vulnerable and susceptible and won't be as suspecting. Because right now they knocking shit off the pop. Nigga, shit. We can't get the motherfucker to date a nigga or nothing, bitch. Like, we can't get them to fuck. We can't get them to date. We can't get them to go out there and do drugs. We can't get them to go steal so we can finally catch them out of their desperation. They don't want to talk to nobody. They barely move. And when they're moving about, they're moving in silence and very sneakily. We can't get them to do shit. So they go, well, they have to work this job, infiltrate that way on the phone. Then they go, well, let's do social media. That's what they've been doing with me, but they've been doing this the entire time. Coming social media, doing rituals when I'm on social media. This is why I can always tell when somebody's doing spell work, because they utilize the social media. That's another medium that they do and been doing on me since the beginning. Okay? But I'm having some fun with that part at this point. Things that seem to be random conversations and certain words. I already talked to you all about how, this psychological warfare, military, tactic shit, training with these psychological subconscious phrases to trigger something. And, it's similar to that. They may know that because they themselves could have been in the military. Okay? Or someone close to them. So like I've experienced here recently, but I'm shutting that shit down because I'm too busy dealing with my subconscious. Wanting me to be in anxiety and wanting me to question my identity and feel like something is wrong with me. That's really the thing that they're trying to trigger and get me to sink into. To split, to go into depersonalization. That's what they're doing, trying to do with me. But I'm shutting it down. I won't even acknowledge it. And then I'll do my other certain stuff in my own mind pertaining to it. Because, listen, everything in this world is not quite as it seems. Because here's the fascinating thing. One time, I actually wish if I should play with it. Because these folks don't care. The things that me and my son have experienced here in Texas has made that perfectly clear. With the exception of, I can count on my hand. I can count on my hand. You people don't care. Most of these people are a part of the bullshit to begin with. So there's nothing in me that would want to trust and or believe anything in terms of some rando schmando floozy. Yelling things out of their car. Bitch, why are you here? And why are you the same one from before? Maybe you should ask her, are you okay? Maybe you should put that spell on yourself. Because you falling around some lady walking, minding a business. And she ain't swatting that, you know what I'm saying? People be on bullshit. That's why I know what I know. Because I'm like, come on. Come on. And since I'm aware of it, that is also dissipating. And so what I want to say to end it is this. Your awareness is part of the power that you take back. It dissipates the illusion that they're trying, that mirror, that swap that they're trying to create. Then from there, your voice, activates your voice. You have the power to dissipate it. You have a power to destroy it. You have a, you know, and anytime you sense the offness, you do have the power to do that with your voice, with your words. Okay? And then continue working with your subconscious, of course. Because it's based on our traumas, our woundings, right? That we've gotten. And like right now, like those that are playing in my energy right now, I can imagine that what they are feeling as they're trying to do the things that they're doing, they're feeling a lot of push, a lot of pushback, a lot of resistance, possibly strong resistance, and there's maybe even pain, some of them. Because when I say nigga, it's the fuck out my earth. I mean it full well, goddammit. It's gonna be a price for every fucking rich. Now, I like to share all these things that's in plain sight. Because it's the stuff that's in plain sight, the mundane, the seemingly normal looking things that they're really exploiting the most, I should say. Okay? And it's going to happen in these arenas, your work, your job, you know, your business, social media, anywhere that you have to spend concentrated amounts of time, you know what I'm saying, that they are going to be seeking to find ways. And then they're going to look for all of your favorite things to do, and they will infiltrate all those places. It's the art of war. They got to profile you, your likes, your dislikes, your strengths, your weaknesses. So if you like coffee, they'll try to exploit that. You like going to Starbucks and coffee shops, I guarantee you 5 of them motherfuckers is going to be there, bitch, every day. Just in case. You like going to the mall, guarantee you a good 20 of them motherfuckers on cue are going to be over there every day, just in case. You like going to the gym, 100% guaranteed. A good 5, 10 of them motherfuckers are going to be there every day, just in case. Coming in to get memberships and shit. Go in there and go get yourself a membership. Costs 1 cent. And peeping over there to see where you at on the hydro chair. I'm telling you. Some of the other clues you all are going to pick up on later is a lot of the body language and the differences between just strangers in the atmosphere and the environment versus, because people that are stalking you, they have a tendency, it's something with their body language is what I've learned. It's something that even if they're not conscious of it, it's something with their body language, with their, yeah, it's a tell. It gives it away. So let me give y'all a quickie pull here. Now, if you're saying, okay, so Bloomy, what do I do? You know, I'm still working in these environments, or you know, we're dealing with this, as you're saying, you can't really altogether get away from it. And when you're most vulnerable, so what can I do? You said I can say certain words, but could you elaborate? What can I do to better empower myself in every now and moment pertaining to this? Okay. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Energy, man. Okay. I'm gonna give you 2 different oracle pulls or something, and you know, you can even, if you come in at some point on this video, because I'm only addressing my legit motherfuckers. If whenever you see this, at this juncture, take some deep cleansing breaths, set your own intention, okay? Like take about 3. With each breath intending to clear mind, body, and soul. Just via your intention, if you can't picture it, but try to feel into your body. And try to then just breathe normally, and then focusing on the heart space, the heart chakra. You can envision or intend or even feel into, or move your attention into your body, into that area. Because you're wanting to connect with your higher heart and to get messages that's in alignment. Self-interpret according to you and how this would apply to you and how it could be helpful, okay? So I call this black lightning. Self-interpret. I'll give what I'm picking up, but this is the part where it's self-interpret. For the benevolent collective that this applies to, what are the things that's practical, simple, readily available, and every now and moment that they could do and apply to empower themselves as they're navigating through the swarmy matrix, as they're navigating, you know, through all these people that's coming for them and all these plants and actors that's constantly sent towards them and all, you know, all these places and arenas. Okay? What can they do? Practical, simple, and easy. That doesn't require them to have 55,000 years of experience in something. Not that there's anything wrong with experience, so I'm not disrespecting seasoned experience when it's benevolent and sound and just and fair. But a lot of times people haven't had that grace, okay? Their life was hijacked and they have not had those graces to have that level of investment, and yet they need something dealt with, okay? Okay. Boom. Ah, look at that. So it says Sagittarius, the Voyager, enthusiasm, philosophical, ethical, unbridled, experimental, boundless, traveling. Okay, so, and then it said, okay. So some of the things that you all may be able to do with Sagittarius coming out, which is also about family. It's also about, you know, it's the fire element. It's also about individuality. So embrace your individuality, embrace your unique voice on a practical level. In those moments, if you're able to take a break, okay, because, you know, let's say you sense and you feel some kind of way and you're in the work environment. If you can take like a 5-minute break, you don't have to say, oh, I need to do this and that. You can say, okay, I need to break, this phone call, you know, was rough, or I need to go to the restroom or something. If it's allowed, if you can take a break once you notice that that's your energy, you know, feels like that exchange created something, you can take, because it's not going to take you 30 minutes. You can take like a 2-minute, a 3-minute, okay? And at that time with the Sagittarian energy is like maybe the deep cleansing breaths, because you're moving your energy. And now let's see what else, okay? Sagittarian, the Voyager came out. It says travel, move. In some cases, if and when you're given an opportunity to leave, then prepare to leave. You know what I'm saying? Shift around, move your energy, change your schedules, like whatever you can do. But it sounds like it's about movement, movement, movement. You can even say some things in your mind. Yeah, opportunity is in the reverse. Let me see. Open doors. Okay. So in some cases, since it's coming in the reverse, like I just said, this may very well be about closing those doors. Okay, because sometimes things do be happening to us to where it's like trying to prepare us to transition into something else. Okay. Also with opportunity in the reverse, This could be a thing about minimizing certain interactions with people when you can. When you can. And when you deal with them, making sure you take the opportunity upon completion to, you know, give yourself a couple few moments. And then I got the second house assets. Yeah, it's going into the reverse. Oh, this is interesting. Second house assets, reverse. Credit score, security. Authorities, child. With this energy, I'm giving count up the cost, you know. And also don't share your information, because assets could also be pertaining to do not give these people any personal information. You know what I'm saying? Especially as this pertains to workspace shit. Like, do not engage with your personal struggles or your personal story with them personally, okay? Because this is a part of how they can get an entry point. This is a part of how they can get an access waypoint as you're just sharing. This is... This is why in these environments, sometimes disguised as a team meeting, they get you in there trying to get people to open up about their personal experiences. That's non-work related. Child, complexity is in the reverse. Yeah, so this would help minimize the complexity. Less is more. The more you share in these work, the less you share in these work environments pertaining to your personal anything. This is going to also help. Okay, and they can still do the stuff and they'll still try. Okay, but when you create these cords with them, you've given them a silent, energetic permission. Okay. Okay. Boom. So now let me get my behavioral health deck to see, let's clarify that, to see how that may help those of you who come in. Boom. How you don't go and deal with this? I just saw 24 in the reverse. That's about 6. That's about balance. It's about the past. It's about childhood, inner child wound healing, nostalgia, keeping people out of your past. Okay, anyway. Because people's past, oh, I get it. The reason why is because we never know. Wow, this just slapped me over my noggin. Because in these workspaces, especially if they're call center based, and especially if they're the remote type where basically it's all over the US, that just hit me over the head like a ton of bricks. Because we never know if we're dealing with a past lover of ours or a past lover of ours, one of many. We never know. You see that? And maybe, child, maybe that's why, like, no sharing nothing. Because I remember, child, I had already suspected, though. By then, I was already being given certain information. Go ahead and clarify Sagittarius, the Voyager, what the collective can do to empower themselves in these moments, moving around the energy, taking a break, relocating, ask to be moved. But see, in some cases, like in my case, see, this is a rarity, but in some cases, what they'll try to do is limit you and restrict you and say, ain't no other supervisor available. So even if you were to, you know what I'm saying, say like, hey, you know, they'll start coming up with these new rules. You know, we're trying to empower and encourage everybody to work conflict resolution and to stay with their supervisors. And that's just code for we don't have nobody else, we don't want to deal with it, and we don't want to address if the supervisor is the problem. Because it's an assumption that people have not tried. And when you go that route, all it does is give them room to gaslight. And so if that were to come up, then that's also another maybe clue as to, okay, let me prepare to leave. Let me see what kind of creative option I have with that. Because, again, we shouldn't have to, you know, you're dealing with somebody that's now married to your ex that may have a problem with you. It's conflict of interest and unethical for you to have to be their subordinate. Okay? Okay. Boom. Mindfulness skills came out. 17 energy. That's about healing. That's about your hopes, goals, dreams, and aspirations. That's about attention, goals. And it says here, observe your inner and your outer experience. Sit quietly and relax. And I did say that using mindful breathing. Place your focus or nearby an object. Refocus. Finally, put your attention on each of your 5 senses, feeling into the body, and notice what you observe without judging. Okay? So you can differentiate between what is you and what's them. Was actually your vibe, or was it something you absorbed and picked up from that person? Because if you're empath, the thing about that is it's often difficult to tell the difference, because the true definition of empath is not just that you know shit. The thing is you feel as if. That's what that is all about. That's why they call it empathing. The experience is you feel as if this is yours, until you learn how to differentiate between your absorption and environment and projection versus it's yours. So that breath work is going to give an opportunity to balance it out with that 17 energy. Paying attention to your body, paying attention to the subtle cues, and clearing it every time you deal with these people, if you're going to stay there. Okay? Opportunity reverse. Boom. 26 energy. So we have 2 8s here. 8, 8. Karmic stuff. Okay. Once again, breath work. Relax. It says use self-compassion meditation. So look, even after you do that initial clearing, then you can do self-compassion. And so if something is just too much for you, you know, giving yourself plenty of time to do this self-compassion, doing this clearing of your energy and this self-compassion meditation, okay? Taking that time, because oftentimes they try to bombard you to such an extent that you don't have a moment, okay? And recognizing that that's not really compassionate. You know, people are human beings and they're not machines. Okay? And to expect somebody to drive like a racehorse for 8 hours straight, with the exception of their breaks and lunch, is still out of this pocket, is out of this world. But that's so that you can be depleted and that they can feed off of your exhaustion as well. So you'll be too discombobulated and tired, hopefully, to even notice what the hell is actually going on. So a lot of giving yourself a moment to feel into your own body, to pick up the subtle energy by getting up from your desk, by taking a 2-minute, 3-minute break, maybe going outside and taking a quick walk, sitting, preparing and planning to maybe look for a different opportunity, followed by a moment of self-love, breath work, where you're placing your hands over your heart, pushing love into yourself, pushing light and caring and kindness, into you. Okay, and finally, assets in the reverse. Your energy is an asset. Your skill is an asset. Your development is an asset. Your attention is an asset. Your personal life is an asset. So let's see, it's in the reverse, so let's see. Oh, also don't tell them about your shit, because so look, in my case, the only reason why, I know it's a mistake now, but this is when I was trying to get the leadership of this particular company to understand the depths of what I've experienced in terms of the stalking and why it amplified and how that could have threaded into. That's the only reason why I mentioned it. Okay, because it needed to make sense to me. Like, you got to understand there's layers to this. Okay. But now I see, like, maybe that I shouldn't have done either. Because chances are a lot of these people are already there, and that's a part of the problem that they have. And then they get into the secret competition, and then it's just. Otherwise, I wouldn't have said nothing, because I really wasn't in the business of saying shit to motherfuckers since I've been in Texas. The only reason why that came out in Texas at all, I mean this. The only reason why it ever came out at all on my side. Now, I'm not talking about, the nosy landlords and the relatives that initiated shit. The only reason why on my side is, again, because I started dating someone, and at first I didn't even disclose it to him. And it wasn't because it wasn't out of me not wanting him, it wasn't out of me not wanting him to know about that side of me or be a part of it. It's because I already knew from previous experience that, at least for a while in the beginning, it can create issues. It can complicate things. And I wasn't looking for that. I was trying to give myself a chance at first to allow this person to get to know me and allow me to get to know him without all of the extra shit. Then I shared it with them, and then decided to bring it in once we really, at least what I thought, once we solidified the relationship really. Then, I brought them in so that I can share, like, oh, I'm on a live or I'm recording, because it was taking parts of my time. And okay, that's kind of how it got started. So from there, then it morphed and it spread there. You see? So a lot of maybe our lessons is about our assets, not sharing. Just not sharing. That'll eliminate some stuff. Okay, especially as it pertains to work environment and as it pertains to home environments. Because then you're going to have your thieves coming in, and then you're going to have the people coming in wanting to be a problem. Okay. Assets. I said it. Take a time out. Distress tolerance skills. Yeah. That's like the first card. Nigga. So we got 3 8s on the board, y'all. We got 17 that breaks down to an 8. We got 26 that breaks down to an 8. And then we got 8. Ooh, because that's your abundance. That's abundance code, nigga. Ooh, that's business. That's dollars. Okay. 888. Mindful. Okay. You're an abundant person. Have an abundant attitude, energy, so that you can keep this balanced, protecting your assets. Ooh, child. Assets going into the reverse. Taking out the time to clear your energies with simple things that can help you in these moments. And then, of course, you can do the more invasive stuff later, right? Because sometimes you're dealing with some sophisticated retards, okay? You're dealing with some sophisticates. Old evil, bitch. You know, the first, not evil, but like the first, y'all got to loosen up a little bit. Gee whiz. Old toxic shit that's been around since ancient of days. Some deeply rooted, they got this sophisticated shit. So you're like, this ain't work. I need to do me some more shit. Fair enough. But at least for the time being, these are some of the smaller, quicker, readily available things we can do in the now moments, okay? So it says, take a time out. Everyone deserves a break. Shit, yeah. Fuck, whoo, it is. Everyone deserves a break from the hectic pace of life. So everybody deserves a break from their hectic job. Today, take a time out to relax. If it's a few minutes, go for a walk. Walk around, go somewhere special. Take care of your health. Focus on your own needs instead of everyone else. And that's again, finding your balance with that. It's like, look, I want to do a great job, but you ain't finna worry me. Now, you ain't finna burn me the fuck out. And you ain't finna speak that shit over me either, bitch. In fact, I'm gonna have some fun with you now. I bet you it's fall on you as I speak. Okay, so look. Okay. Yes, nigga. Wait. Look, it says rehearse your values. Rehearse values-based behavior. 12 energy. Today, identify a situation that requires you to act on your values. There we go. Nigga. Act on your values. And see that my asset, I am my greatest asset, bitch. You ain't gonna run me. Shit. Okay. Identify a situation that requires you to act on your values. And we all have different sets of values, okay? What would you say or do to turn this value that you have into an actual action? Okay? Be specific. Then imagine yourself acting on your intentions and overcoming emotional barriers like fear. Visualize yourself succeeding and people responding well. Now, this is what I'm picking up with this one. If we're able to do the other 3 that I said, I didn't have much opportunity to do it. I was practicing it some. But if we're able to manage to consistently do that, okay, then we could possibly bring in the balance in that respect. Taking the actions that's going to be honoring to our assets. I think I actually did attempt to, as I'm like looking at it now, I think I did. I was trying to take, that's what a lot of it was. I was trying to take steps. I was doing some breath work. I could see where it escalated. I would try to do that. And then, see, in certain environments, they don't want to give you much time. You're sitting there and it's like, and then when you get a lunch, your lunch is your lunch. When you get it, you see what I'm saying? Lunches and breaks, sometimes you need this after dealing with certain individuals and after dealing with, you see what I'm saying? The breath work may help us to do this in a more balanced and intellectual, intelligent way. And making sure that, hey, I do want to follow the rules. I do want to be a team player. I do want to be, responsible and accountable and give the best I can offer. But for me, that includes boundaries. I am my greatest asset. If I allow all of my energy to be played with, tampered with, without increments of properly caring for myself based on whatever that is, then what I'm saying is I'm really not all that honorable. I'm not really all that worthy and deserving to care for myself. It's one thing to need a job, and it's one thing to want to be consistent and commit to it. It's another thing to allow that to be your premature death. Okay? Very nice. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. And I just saw privilege. What does it say right here? Privilege. White tears. Yeah, because somebody did that. Anyway, let me get that. For some of us, it's even allowing ourselves to cry. And crying, I don't know, it's associated with weakness in our culture. But what if I told you it was just energy that is the water, the emotion body, and providing it to move? What if I told you that? What if I told you that it's you connecting with what's felt, not the manipulating shit like these other motherfuckers do, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Because I know some manipulators out of this world. Honey. Nigga. And they ain't doing now clearing with their shit. They're actually trauma dumping and projecting. But anyway, this is when you're doing this alone. This is not about going to someone. This is you taking that opportunity for your own feeling what this is. This ain't about dumping it off on somebody. Feeling it, acknowledging it, and if tears want to, like allowing that to move the energy, which is about emotion, because most of the time people are trying to affect you emotionally in this case. They're trying to affect you mentally and emotionally so that they can lock down the narrative that you're unhinged. And keeping it to yourself. Like in this picture, the person's crying the tears in her cup of coffee. And then it says privilege. And she's holding a phone. So some of you, because you're going through this because you are a content creator. And people are watching you every day. And they feel some kind of way about that. And then they're taking the opportunity to assault you through that same medium, through the phone. Trying to affect what they feel like you deserve and what you don't deserve based on whatever the fuck going on in their head. So, giving yourself that space and then continuing to honor yourself, because it's a privilege to have you as an employee. It's a privilege to have you as a friend. It is a privilege. And so becoming more mindful of our assets. Okay? All right, let's get a tarot and let's see maybe how this will unfold for you. And we are done. I hope I'm going to use this one. So as you practice these things, if you feel guided to practice these behavioral health tactics here, this is how it might manifest or help improve. Tarot, first column. First column, the improvement, the adjustment, the improvement. I just saw 8 of Cups walk away. Yep, new opportunities, King of Cups. Yep, emotional maturity. You'll get some rest. Healing is there with the 4 of Swords. You'll be able to clear out the emotional stagnation, Ace of Cups. Clarify 4 of Swords. Taking breaks. Yeah, 10 of Swords. It'll help you to close out these cycles here. This is a lot of swords. It'll help you to come out of your head. It'll help you to be clear in your thinking. It'll help you to find the rest that you need because you have all these swords coming at you all the time. Second column. All the psychic attacks. Yeah. 7 of Swords is coming in reverse. A lot of air. Yes, this will help you to see clearly what you need to do and how to navigate a situation. It'll also help you to clearly determine who's being sneaky and lying. Okay. It'll also help you to determine who you should disclose certain things to. Last column. Then the Page of Wands is in the reverse. Absolutely. When you realize you're dealing with immature energy, because the Page of Wands in the reverse is immature energy, it's going to help to improve or clear some of that out. Take a time out, clearing out that bad news, the energy of people that are bad news and that are trying to project and bringing bad news to you. People that's trying to attack you and proclaim bad news. Yeah, Queen of Wands is in the reverse. It'll help you to clear out because that's what you're dealing with. Basically, destroyed witches and warlocks here. Queen of Wands in the reverse. Page of Wands in the reverse. 10 of Wands. God damn it. We got a lot of fire and we have a lot of air. So this is about the mental plane, communication, thoughts, intelligence. And then we have the fire, and this is about passion, life force energy, creativity, zest, okay? It'll help you to clear out people that is trying to dim your light and attack your confidence and bring bad news because they're feeling threatened by you. It'll help you to tap and not absorb their energy. Yeah, good gravy, God. So that will improve. Your confidence will improve. You'll clear out that what they're trying to project. Okay? There you go. So whoever you are out there, I'll tell you something. They're always casting. And then some of y'all, it's in plain sight. It's at the apartment complex. It's in the community in which you live. It's at the job you got. It's at the gym, nigga. It's at Stater Brothers. It's at it's at Planet Fitness. It's at Crunch Fitness. It's at Parkdale Mall. It's at Barnes and Nobles. It's at Kroger. It's at Ross. It's at a Reiki Center. It's at it's at church. It's on the bus. It's in the Uber. It's in the Lyft. It's when you're talking to the utility company. I'm saying. And hopefully this, please don't be afraid by this. Because see, I said it in the beginning, a part of the power is the illusion and the secrecy, and that is hidden and you don't know nothing about it happening. And also a part of it is those of you, you're empaths. And so that's a part of what's taken advantage of. it's hard for you to know the difference, as well as for most of the world to even know the difference between if something is actually yours or if it's something you're absorbing from the environment and from things people are projecting to you. So there's nothing to fear there. And there are codes to deal with fear, by the way, and you can work with those codes in your subconscious. You can deal. Because I'm not saying you're supposed to pretend our fears away. That's not what I mean. Okay?